What's going on, people? It's your boy Nando, part of the P4P Boxing Show in association with Dirty South and IQ Boxing. Today, I got a very special guest, pro boxer Jordan Gill. Be talking about, obviously, his last fight, the beef with Isaac Lowe at the moment, and a lot more. We're just waiting for Jordan to come on, and we're going to speak to him. Remember, this is in association with Dirty South Boxing. Check out Dirty South Boxing at www.dirtysouthboxing.co.uk for the best boxing gear out there. Gloves, boxing gyms. They redo boxing gyms. They can get you your own personalized headgear. The lot. Just check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed. Just waiting for Jordan to come on. Just waiting for the champ to come on. How you doing, champ?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to me today.
No worries. Sort
No
the
stuff.
throw out. No worries.
Just want to see how you are. How's obviously after your last win? It was a great win on a great card. How do you think of your performance? Was you happy with it?
Yeah, I was happy looking back. On the night, I wasn't as happy as I am looking back. You know, looking back, it was a good fight. It was a tough opponent, someone that was coming to really try and take my head off. So I was I was happy with it.
It was a big risk for yourself because obviously recently British fighters haven't been doing well against the Mexicans, and you brought it home for Britain that night.
Yeah, well, someone's got to do it. It's I know they're tough guys. These Mexicans, every single one of them come over to win, and they want to hurt you with every shot. So you know, we weren't on a good run. Obviously, with Warrington getting beat, unfortunately, and then it was my turn. Then after me, Robbie Davies as well. It felt bad. Obviously, these guys are getting beat, and I was the one that pulled it out of the bag. But we all had hard fights, and you know, you have to box a certain way to beat these guys because, you know, they are killers.
Yeah, they're really tough fighters. Thing is, I think the difference between you and the other two, like, you didn't try to literally take his head off. You literally you box smart that night. That's the way to do it against a Mexican, really. You need to box smart. Even you saw AJ with the rematch with Andy Ruiz. He didn't meet him in the middle. You know, he used that distance. He used the jab, and I think that's the way to do it with these guys.
That's the thing. I think you have to box to your strengths, and you know, I learned the hard way. You don't have to meet fire with fire, and you know, if someone's coming at you trying to take your head off, you know, nullify them, move, take your time, and pick them off because you have to box to your strengths. I'm not a one punch knockout artist. You know, I can break people down and stop them, but you know, chances are if they're top contender and they're tough Mexican guys like that, they've got a lot of heart and they wear the heart on the sleeve. You know, chances are he's going to go to the scorecard. So all I had to do was win the rounds.
Did you have any doubt after the fight? Did you have any doubt at all that you had the win, or was you a bit worried when it went to the judges?
Sorry, mate. The connection's bad.
That's all right, mate. What I said before was when it went to the judges, did you have no doubt that you had the win, or was you a little bit 50-50 on it? Jordan, you there? Got a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll try to get Jordan back on. Jordan? Let's see if we could get Jordan back on. A little bit of technical difficulties there.
Hello, mate.
Hey, mate.
I'm back. I think we got a connection issue.
That's fine. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays better this time. What I was saying before was when it went to the judges' scorecards, did you have no doubt that you had the win? Or did you have a little bit of a doubt, obviously, after seeing what happened with Warren, even though it was completely different with Warrington, he got stopped, but with Robbie Davis Jr. before, did you have any doubt that you had the win?
No, absolutely no doubt whatsoever. I felt like I dominated the whole fight. I think there was one spell in the 5th round where, you know, got a bit complacent, held my feet too long, and he rattled off a handful of shots and caught me. And obviously went back to the corner straight after, and you know, come out in the 6th round and got back to my boxing. But I think apart from that, I struggled to give him anything. I felt like I dominated the whole fight, so I had no worries when the scorecast was being read out.
Amazing. I know I've seen a lot of your interviews since that fight, and I know a lot of people has asked you this, so I have to ask. What made you grow out your hair this time, and is it staying?
It's just, you know what, because of lockdown and stuff, I've not had a haircut because all the barbers are shut, aren't they? So not been able to get to the barbers. So you know, it might stay, it might not. I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes. I had a little trim, but it's been trimmed all funny, so it's like longer in different places. So it's like starting to look a bit bad. But we'll see. We'll see how it feels. Yeah, I think maybe because you know the summer's coming. I like it short in the summer.
I like that you're keeping to the rules because some of us are getting these legal haircuts, you know, legal haircuts. So
you can't say that on camera. You're gonna get fined now.
Hopefully, no one sees this. No authorities see this video anyway.
Huh.
I'll just say my mum did it. Let's just say my mum did it.
Smart.
I have to ask. Obviously, the big talk right now is obviously this thing between Isaac Lowe. How did it start?
When they announced Joshua and Tyson Fury's fight, or when they announced that they're going into negotiations, he tagged me in an Instagram story saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury is going to smash Joshua, and I'll happily smash Jordan Gill on the undercard." I was like, "Cool." So he's called my name. So I've never called his name before that. Obviously, people ask me, "Oh, would you fight him?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll fight him." But you know, until then, he called my name. So I was like, "Yeah, cool. That's good. That's a big fight, a big stage to fight on. So fair play. He's always fighting on the Fury undercard. So why not?" So then after the fight, I've called his name, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, I don't need you. You're not. Why you called my name? I don't. I'm above you. I'm world level." So to me, it sounds like he's talking himself out of the fight. So fair enough. He'll do what he wants to do. I feel like I'm sort of sick of talking about it now because you know, like I've said before, if the fight happens, you know, the fight happens and it'll be good. But if it don't happen, it's not because of me. That's all I can say.
Well, this whole week, this past 10 days, he's been calling out your name a lot. You know, I'm going to end his career. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to do this. You know, deep down, do you want the fight? Let's say it got presented to you now. Is that the fight that you want next?
That is 100% the fight that I want next. That is 100% the fight I want. So, you know, talk's cheap. All you got to do is agree to fight. There's my end is clear. You know, I'll fight. It's a good fight. It's a domestic fight that's above domestic level. So it's great to have rivalry. We're lucky to have each other to create a big fight. and it'd be on a big stage with on probably the biggest show in British boxing history. So yeah, why wouldn't you want the biggest fight possible on that stage? So for me and him at the moment, that's probably the biggest fight. Well, it's the fight that people's most talking about. You're asking me, everyone's asking me, everyone's always messaging me saying, "Oh, they want to see that fight." So hopefully it happens. But from my end. What more can I do? It's down to him to accept it.
Do you have a message for Isaac Lowe if he sees this?
Not really. I know I see him talking. Obviously, he's fighting this weekend, so he's got to get through that. I'm sure he will. I know it's a sort of tick over fight, so fair play. I think he's a good fighter. I think I'm a good fighter. I think when you get two fighters together and they're both good, then they have a good fight, and that's what all the fans are calling for. At the end of the day, it's an entertainment business, so everyone's calling for it. It's down to him for it to happen. So we'll see. I,
Would it
I
go
don't.
the distance?
Who knows? I feel like that I could stop him late on. And I know he said the same about me. So at the end of the day, if he beats me, I'll be the best name on his record. If I beat him, probably be the best name on my record. So he says he's world level, and says that I'm just European level. So I think we're both at a very similar stage in our careers. And I'd say we're both touching fringe world level now. So this fight, whoever wins this fight will be propelled into a world title shot or one or two fights away from it. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So yeah, I haven't got a message. Do your thing. If you want to fight, then fight. If don't fight, then fight someone else. Who cares? I'm gonna carry on the way I am.
Fantastic. I tagged you in a post last week. You voted for it and you shared it. I'm guessing that's a fight you will welcome as well. Your WBA number 5, Mauricio Lara, who just beat Josh Warrington, is number 4. Makes sense. 5 and 4 to fight against each other to move up the rankings. Is that a fight that you would welcome?
100%. Yeah, he's a very good fighter. Dangerous man, as we saw. It's a fight where really, I think if you're in the top 5, even if you're not 1 or 2, if you're in the top 5 in a governing body, then you can be lobbied to fight it as a final eliminator. So I could fight Lara in a final eliminator for Kanzu, who's the world champion. So that's an option, and I know Eddie's got options on Lara. So I know he's signed to fight Warrington, isn't he? But Warrington Warrington just had an operation on his shoulder, and Eddie has to give him a fight within, I don't know, a certain amount of time, probably 6 months. So we'll see if he's going to be ready. If he's not ready, I'm the man. Give me a call.
Eddie, give him a call. That's it. Because if they can't get the Isaac Lowe fight for yourself, mate, that's a brilliant fight for the AJ Fury undercard. You against Mauricio Lara.
That's a massive fight, yeah, because after what he did with Warrington, he's become sort of a superstar, and I'd get more credit for even taking that fight than I would beating any of the other guys that I've beaten. So if I take the fight and I beat him, then I'm there. So that's a fight that I'd welcome. Big opportunity.
100%. Because after what he did to Warrington, I think there's not a lot of people in the division that will want to fight this man just yet. But the fact that you would take him on now, hats off to you, because he is a dangerous man. He can fight, he can box, and he can hit as well, and he proved that. And what I want to know, and it's not really a dig at Josh Warrington, what can Jordan Gill bring to the table compared to Warrington that will be different, that can get the job done against someone like Mauricio Lara?
I think I don't know. It's hard to say because everybody, like, stars make fights and everyone's very different. I feel like not that Josh Warrington is one dimensional, but yeah, that's the way that he fought Lara is the way that he fought Selby, is the way that he fought Frampton. He's been the same, like pretty consistent, and it's been effective until he boxed Lara. And whether that was because of the crowds not being there, whether because he was sort of underwhelmed by the occasion, whether it was because he didn't prepare right, or he didn't mentally get up for Lara, then I don't know. But it's I don't know. I think my IQ, boxing ability, little subtle things that I do will make it a hard night for Lara, and I think I'd dominate him. I think I'd beat him on points.
I saw your little talk with Sonny Edwards earlier on Instagram Live. Great little talk with him. I think you guys should do a podcast together. It was talk.
Yeah, he said it was a podcast. I thought he was taking a mick, and I jumped on his live just to see what he was talking about, and then he requested me to join, so I joined on it, and he recorded the whole thing. He's posted it.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
I like Sonny, great fighter, and even when he does these lives, he talks sense. He actually talks sense. So I like the way his boxing IQ is amazing. He brought one fight up, and I agree with you as well. There's no disrespect to his opponent, but obviously we've got the potential of Kid Galahad against Jazza Dickens for the vacant IBF title. You said that you believe that kids can do it.
I think he could. I think it's one of them fights where the thing is, in world level, when you look top 10 in the world, then any man can really beat any man on their night. It's just who gets the tactics right. So, Galahad could beat Jazza. Jazza could beat Galahad. But it's an interesting fight. If I was going to side with somebody, I think I'd side with Galahad. People, don't see a lot of the subtle things that he does. He's very good at nullifying. He's physically very underrated, like how strong he is. He's a very strong fighter, and he stops people doing what they're good at. So it's going to be an interesting fight. But Jazz is on a roll. He's a good guy. He's positive, and I'm sure he really believes in himself. So I'm looking forward to that fight. The first time they boxed was a great fight. It was one of the best atmospheres I've ever been to live. So it'll be awesome.
Hopefully it can get made. They're saying May the 1st. I don't know if that will fall on the same undercard of Parker Chisora. If that happens on May the 1st, I'm not sure. Due to obviously Kid, did he go to PBC? Did he sign with PBC? I can't remember who he signed with.
I don't think he signed with him.
So he's technically a free agent. Jazza is with who? He's with Eddie, isn't he?
No, Jazz is with MTK.
MTK. So it's something that can happen. It can happen on a matchroom undercard, I guess, depending on the negotiations. But either way,
it might even be MTK's sort of flagship show. You never know; they might air it on YouTube and make it the first world title fight on YouTube. Well, no, it wouldn't be the first world title fight on YouTube, would it? Because Huey Fury boxed Park on it, didn't he? So
yeah.
But either way, to have a world title fight aired on YouTube would be a big deal for MTK. So hats off to him.
Either way, hopefully it gets done because that's a fight that deserves to be a world title fight.
Definitely.
Where's your rankings in the IBF? What's your situation in that governing body?
I don't think I'm ranked in the top 15 with the IBF, so I'm not sure because I've just won that WBA title. I'm only ranked in the WBA, so
yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll get in there at some point, but we'll just wait and see what happens.
I'm not trying to get you to call anyone out, but there's another guy in the top 10 in the UK rankings, and I think he's just 1 or 2 places above you. Ryan Walsh.
Yeah.
Is he someone that you would welcome a fight with in the future?
Yeah, possibly. It'd be a big fight between me and Ryan Walsh. I know he's coming off a loss, so I wouldn't want to fight him coming off a loss. So if he got a win or two together and got himself up there, it's a good fight. I can't see why that can't happen. We've been talk about fighting him for a long time, and for one reason or another, it's not happened. He went in the golden contracts as well, so I'm open to that. But I'm looking at world level now, and I want to get these world title in position to fight for world title. That's my immediate goal.
Hopefully you get there. I think if you're number 5, you're technically like maybe 2 fights away from a world title fight. Hopefully.
Yeah, possibly. I know Kanzu was meant to be fighting Warrington, wasn't he?
Yep.
And that's been axed, and Warrington's supposed to be fighting Lara in a rematch. So Kanzu hasn't got an opponent. He can pick anyone in top 15. So I've got 1 in 15 chances of being picked.
Again, another fight that can be on the AJ Undercard or even your own show as the main event.
Why not? Might go to China for it. Who knows?
That'd be brilliant. Road trip. You're trained by David Colwell. Tell me, what's David like? Because obviously he's got a lot of experience, obviously guiding Tony Bellew to a world title. What's he like as a coach?
He's vastly experienced. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's very committed and very he's very particular in what he wants. So he's always drilling us, and like picking at us and making sure that we get everything. No, so specific. Got to get everything right because, like, when you're in a hard, say I was in a pretty hard fight a couple of weeks ago, and at certain points when you're in a hard fight, you're fighting off instinct because sometimes you're not be given a lot of time to think, or so you're fighting off instinct, and in that situation, you revert back to what you know, what becomes natural. So all these drills that we're doing in day out in the gym, that when you're doing it over and over and over and drilling, that becomes second nature, and that's what we saw in the fight. So at times when it was putting the pressure on, and I was fighting instinct, these drills have been paying off, and that's all down to Dave and the work that he puts in with us in the gym.
Got a couple stable mates. Next week, Anthony Fowler is out in on the Lawrence Okoli undercard. How
Yeah,
good is it to get him back in action?
yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing him back. Obviously, he doesn't train with us anymore. He trains with Shane Wigan down in Kent, but I'll keep in contact with and I always enjoyed training with him. And he's a very hard worker, and I'm sure he'll get the win next week and hopefully go on and avenge that defeat to Fitzgerald. So looking forward to that.
Could you see him targeting the win of maybe Cheeseman Metcalf?
Yeah, that's another great fight. That division in Britain is a very good division. So they could all have a big round robin, couldn't they? There's obviously Scott Fitzgerald, there's Anthony Fowler, Ted Cheeseman, there's Kieran Conway, there's what's his face, the one that you just said, who Cheeseman's fighting. Metcalf, and there's like that the French kid that's with 258 management at Sissoko as well, who's fighting this weekend. So
and
that's a great little mix there. So it's interesting.
and you got potentially Josh Kelly might go up.
Yeah, that's right. Be interesting to see how good he is at going up a weight. I think it might suit him a lot better going up, but we'll see.
How good is Hobie Price?
I'm not just saying it because he's my stable mate. He's very good. I can't express enough, right? How much potential he's got. I think so. Dave's saying Dave has had a world champion. He's had a fighter in a unification fight. He's been in the opposite corner to Terence Crawford, Usyk. He's been in the opposite corner to Canelo when Ryan Rose boxing. And like now, he wants as a trainer, he wants them big accolades, and he wants a fighter that's in a pound for pound list, or if not pound for pound number one in time to come. So not yet, but in time to come, Hopey Price could be in that pound for pound list because, like, for me, it blows my mind how good he is at 21. Like he's literally on Saturday, his birthday. He was 21 years old, right? And I look at him now and I see what he's doing at 21, and the guys that he's sparring are good guys, and he's just dealing with them, or like even if he's not having it all his own way, you can see him working on things, and each like he improves and improves and improves, and yeah, he's very good. He's very good. I think if he just becomes world champion, I'll be disappointed in him.
Who could you see him fighting in the future in the cinema as a domestic level?
In
You
the
like
immediate future, someone like I think someone like Lucian Reed would be a perfect opponent for him next. Good fight.
Totally agree. The thing is, with Great Britain right now, the UK, you've got so many great fighters coming out young as well. You got him, you got Louis Lin, you got Dennis McCann. You had a few people who just made their debut. Adam Masood as well. They
Mhm.
Even though they're on their Frank Warren shows, but in general, the UK is booming. It's booming, and you're looking at potentially future world champions.
Yeah, exciting, isn't it? It's very good. It's exciting. It's good to have young talent coming through because always you sort of have a spell where like you don't really see many prospects coming through, and then all of a sudden there's like 5, 6 at a time. And I really like the look of Dennis McCann. I think he's very
Yeah,
good. So it's going to be interesting to see how all the careers unfold.
there was another guy who fought the other day on. He was on the BT Sport, but they didn't show his fight. And I interviewed him as well as Masood Abdullah, and I know so many people that sparred him, and they just said this kid is just so talented and definitely a future champion right there.
What weight is he?
He I think he's a natural lightweight, but I think he's starting his career at super featherweight. He made his pro
Oh,
debut that well.
very good. Yeah, I'll have a look out for him.
Yeah, great guy. Last question, Jordan. I know what your answer is going to be, but I've asked all my guests this. Last night, I interviewed Solomon Dakri. It was the first one to say AJ. I want to see if maybe you're the second one. Obviously, AJ Fury being made biggest fight since probably Ali Frazier. Are you swaying towards AJ?
Do you know if I was going to sway anyway, I'd probably sway towards Fury. I'd like to personally. I'd like to see AJ win. I really would. But I feel like to like I say in top 10, especially in heavyweights, anything can happen. But when you're in the top 10, anyone can beat anyone. And I always say people always ask me, and I think if it's a 2 fight deal, I can see it being 1-1 after 2 fights. I think they both probably could beat each other, but it's going to be interesting. I feel like Fury could either fiddle him about or what Joshua could hurt him and then finish him because he's a good finisher. So I don't know. It's a good fight, but I feel like Joshua would have to change more things to beat Fury than Fury would have to change to beat Joshua, and that's just me being real. But I'd like to see Joshua pull it off. I definitely would.
I personally think it will be a great fight, both of them. Realistically, Fury can either outbox him or can stop him. But if AJ wins, I can't see him outboxing Fury. I just can't see it. But if he beats him, he has to stop him.
Mm. Yeah, it's an interesting fight. A very interesting fight. So I look forward to watching it. Hopefully, I'll have just boxed the undercard and I can watch it live. But we'll see.
100%. And I hope as well for the UK fans, I can be there and it's in the UK.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I wouldn't get your hopes up, but I
Yeah.
think it might be abroad. To be honest.
Yeah. Because even though after the June and after whatever it is, was it June 21st, and they say you can have up to 10,000 people, a fight like that needs 80,000 minimum. That's
Yeah.
the thing. So that's why I don't think it will happen in America unless it happens Cowboy Stadium or it happens at the new stadium in Las Vegas. I think they're swaying more towards Saudi and then play maybe even Dubai.
Yeah, I think Saudi Arabia is probably your best bet.
Maybe China, and we have you against Kanju on the undercard.
Possibly. Hey, stranger things have happened. We'll see.
Yeah, like Rumble on the Rock. Who would have thought that would happen?
Exactly. Exactly. Anything's possible.
That's it. Jordan, I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to me today. Hopefully, one of the fights that we mentioned today can happen soon on that undercard or whichever undercard or main event. And I wish you good luck with that, and we can speak soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Take care and stay safe.
You too, mate. Bye.
Take care.